I'm sure you're all aware of this news by now, but one day before opening up pre-orders for the Xbox Series X and S, Microsoft dropped a freaking nuke on Sony by acquiring Bethesda. Or rather, both Bethesda and Microsoft announced that the acquisition happened, and you know they must have been talking about this for months, if not years. And then they just now coincidentally announced it the day before pre-orders go live. I really wonder how they kept this under wraps for so long, to be honest with you. But this has been some hilarious news. So first, let's just go over what happened, just the basics, and then we're going to point and laugh at the future, at what this actually brings to the table now. Microsoft has acquired renowned publisher Bethesda, both parties announced this morning. By this morning, they mean Monday, September 21st. The new deal includes both Bethesda, the publisher, and all their properties. That includes The Elder Scrolls, Fallout, Doom, and more, as well as parent companies ZeniMax Media and all their properties. The deal is reportedly worth $7.5 billion in cash. Executive Vice President of Gaming at Microsoft and head of the Xbox brand Phil Spencer shared a statement. Today is a special day as we welcome some of the most accomplished studios in the games industry to Xbox. We are thrilled to announce Microsoft has entered into an agreement to acquire ZeniMax Media, parent company of Bethesda Softworks. As one of the largest, most critically acclaimed, privately held game developers and publishers in the world, Bethesda is an incredibly talented group of 2,300 people worldwide who make up some of the most accomplished creative studios in our industry across Bethesda Softworks, Bethesda Game Studios, id Software, ZeniMax Online Studios, Arcane, Machine Games, Tango Gameworks, AlphaDog, and Roundhouse Studios. These are the teams responsible for franchises like The Elder Scrolls, Fallout, Wolfenstein, Doom, Dishonored, Prey, Quake, Starfield, and many more. Now all Xbox exclusive. With a catch, we're going to get to that shortly. But holy shit, I did not know that Bethesda under their umbrella had 2,300 people. That is a lot of bloat. Bethesda Game Studios head and creative lead behind Fallout and Elder Scrolls, Todd Howard, also shared a statement. I can't make myself high-pitched enough to do a Todd Howard impression, so I'll just read it normally. We share a deep belief in the fundamental power of games and in their ability to connect, empower, and bring joy. And a belief we should bring that to everyone, regardless of who they are, where you live, or what you play on, regardless of the screen size, controller, or your ability to even use one. We can't think of a better group of people to do that than those at Xbox. We have friendships that go back to those original days, from Phil to his senior leaders to development support. They don't just talk about putting players first, they passionately live it. And Todd actually may have a really damn good point here, because especially this console generation, Microsoft is pretty much saying, hey, we're going to put all of our stuff on Xbox Game Pass, so anything that supports Game Pass, you can play our games on. I would not be too surprised to see if they're trying to maybe put the Game Pass even on PlayStation. I think they already have a deal with Nintendo, right? I mean, they're working with Nintendo already to see if they can make this happen on the Switch. So we're going to be seeing some interesting stuff. So, yeah, I mean, Microsoft, yeah, you can play it wherever. So Bethesda's next huge RPG games, Starfield and The Elder Scrolls 6, are likely a ways off, as the former is at least playable while the latter is in pre-production. You can read more about that here in our previous report. And there's an update, which we're going to get into via Twat. In a later statement, Microsoft also confirmed they will honor the PS5 timed exclusivity for both Ghostwire Tokyo and Deathloop, with future Bethesda games and exclusivity being looked at on a case-by-case basis. Yep. So let's pull that up. Let's take a look at this. Let's see what was said. Microsoft will deliver Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo as PlayStation timed exclusives, as Bethesda agreed. After that, games will be on Xbox, PC, Game Pass, and other consoles will be considered on a case-by-case basis, according to Phil Spencer. So that's his Twitter handle, by the way. That's Phil Spencer, Xbox P3. Which is kind of funny, because that's what I was pointing out on Twitter before I even saw this, that if you start seeing Bethesda games continue to show up on PlayStation, it's probably because they had existing contracts they still had to honor. I'm quite sure if Microsoft really wanted to, they could break the contracts and pay some massive fine or whatnot. But they're probably like, whatever. You guys, you can finish your existing deals, but afterwards, here's how I imagine this going down. Sony is going to approach Microsoft. Microsoft, can we please have Elder Scrolls like we had the past couple of editions, please? And Microsoft's going to be like, okay. I wouldn't be above that. Yeah, sure. I would be more than happy to put one of my first-party exclusives on a competitor's platform if you kind of make it worth my while. How about an IP swap, huh? You guys can have the Elder Scrolls on PlayStation, but we get Bloodborne. How about that? You willing to make that trade there, Sony? What? No? Then get fucked. You don't get Elder Scrolls. Because this, if Microsoft plays their hand right, this could be the death of exclusives, which would be fucking awesome. Oh, dude, I just had a thought. Imagine if Microsoft bought like Activision and you could no longer even play Call of Duty on PlayStation. You had to get it. You had to either get a PC or an Xbox for Call of Duty. And then they used that as leverage with Sony. Like, hey, you can... We'll still give you Call of Duty like you had most of the previous iterations of the game, but it won't be for free. You're going to have to give us Spider-Man and God of War and Bloodborne and all those. So, yeah, we're quickly approaching a time where we may see every game on every platform. Now, Microsoft's already kind of doing that with the Xbox Game Pass, like we just talked about earlier, because I think Microsoft can see that the days of the console are coming to an end. Just look at your average console demographic. Nobody that's younger than our age range is really all that excited in consoles. The only people that still buy consoles are people who grew up with consoles. But right now, all the kids are playing PC or mobile. That's what they're on. They're either on their PCs or on their phones. And I think Microsoft is actually, they know that the consoles, maybe in the next generation, consoles are going to be nothing more than like Roku boxes, effectively. They're going to be dedicated game streaming devices or the like. That's what consoles are going to turn into. And Microsoft is preparing for this early with the Xbox Game Pass. They are focusing more on the platform than the physical console. And in the short term, they're getting a lot of shit for it. In the short term, everyone's like, oh, why would you even buy an Xbox when you can play everything on PC? Just get a PC and a PS5 and you can play all the games, well, except for the only ones really worth playing that aren't on PC, which are on Nintendo. So I would say get a PC and a Switch if you want to actually be covered for all the good games. But that's right now. That's right now. Now think about in the future. In the future, when consoles are pretty much dead and it's the platform that matters, Microsoft is going to be right here, ready to go. Microsoft's going to be ready with the Xbox Game Pass and Project xCloud and everything else. It'll work on PC, on consoles, on phones potentially. Everything except for Mac, it looks like, because Apple's just being a piece of shit. So the way game streaming works, and I've mentioned this before, you stream button presses and the like, you controller inputs up, and then the server streams video down. So you're literally streaming video when you're playing games on the cloud. It's really not that different than Netflix. The only difference is you got more inputs going up than you would with your average Netflix viewing. And yet Apple, they try to pretend that this is about, oh, we're going to have to review every single game on Game Pass if we want this on our platform. The same Apple, by the way, they don't review every single movie on Netflix. But for whatever reason, they're just being, I mean, we know the reason. They still view Microsoft as a competitor and they're trying to fuck them over. So to be fair, I honestly hope that Microsoft just completely, I hope they just completely stop working with Apple, to be honest with you. So imagine if in the future, like, the xCloud and Xbox Game Pass are available on everything except for Mac. And all the Apple guys will be like, oh, why doesn't this come to Mac? And Microsoft can take that up with Apple. We tried, and they pretty much flipped us the bird. So if you guys want this, stop supporting Apple. So they'll be able to simultaneously make Sony irrelevant because consoles are dying and the future is the platform. And on top of that, they're also going to be attacking Apple. So Microsoft's playing the long game here, and things are probably going to be okay for them. I'm really looking forward to see how Sony tries to dig their way out of it, because, I mean, isn't there like entire yearly profit, something like $6 billion? And here Microsoft came out and just dropped over $7 billion to buy ZeniMax. Man, we're in for some interesting times. I honestly hope that Microsoft does play hardball, though. Now, some people were trying to compare what they are probably going to be doing with Bethesda to what they did with Mojang with Minecraft. Like, oh, but Minecraft's still on PlayStation. Microsoft just wants that money. Well, it's true. Microsoft does just want that money. I mean, that's not wrong. But you got to remember that Minecraft, it was on PlayStation before Microsoft bought it. Because honestly, it would be a very bad look for Microsoft if Minecraft was already on PlayStation and then Microsoft bought it and said, nope, now you don't have it anymore. That would be a very bad look. And that's probably the only reason it's still on PlayStation, is because Microsoft, if they pulled Minecraft from PlayStation, there's no way they wouldn't be the bad guys. Everyone would see them as the villains if they did that. It was already on PlayStation. They are not gonna pull it down. Not right now. That's a lot of potential customers they'd be pissing off. But Elder Scrolls 6? Elder Scrolls 6 has not been on any platform. There's absolutely no problem with limiting Elder Scrolls 6 to just the Xbox Game Pass, just PC and Xbox. They're not taking away anything from PlayStation like they would with Minecraft. So I expect we're going to see this in the future. I really do hope that Microsoft really plays hardball, because they have a chance right now to drive the final nail in Sony's coffin, and I hope they take it. Because the best thing that could happen, in my opinion, is Sony goes bankrupt and all of their good Japanese IPs go to Nintendo. And then all their Western exclusives go to Xbox. So then everything will be on PC and mobile as it should be. And gaming will be great. Well, not really, but it'll be better than it is right now. Let's just say that. Oh man, I am so excited to tell you guys right now that finally, after about a year of build-up and shilling, we have launched Blade Devil on Indiegogo, and so far it is doing so well thanks to awesome people like you. If you haven't backed it yet, then please check the links in the description and check out Blade Devil on Indiegogo. You will not be disappointed. Looking forward to seeing you there.